Are you taping this? That wasn't nice. Hey guys, this is Shana Ross with Shana Ross Fitness in Houston, Texas, and welcome to my fast food tips. And we're talking a little bit more about labels today. And I want to talk to you about nut butters. Peanut butter versus almond butter. Who's gonna win? Who's got the chops? Who's got the hooks? Well, it's not that hard, okay? Most of us love this stuff. I grew up on Peter Pan in Deep East Texas. My mama didn't buy Jif. She liked Peter Pan. And I did too. You know, I thought it was pretty cool. Didn't want to grow up. Ran around with, It was a good story, right? All right. What's the difference between these two? Because there's a big buzz right now about almond butter or nut butters in general, cashew butter, pecan butter, all sorts of butters. Let me break it down really fast, really quick, and then I want you to head to your pantry and see what you have, and then maybe go out and make a better choice. Let's look at the national brand, Jif. It tells you it's reduced fat. It's made from fresh roasted and gives you that nice peanut taste, creamy, 25% less fat. Tells you all of the things, all of the buzzwords, the good things that you need to know right on the label. So let's turn it over and look at the numbers. Now, we all know that nut butters have a significant amount of fat in them because that's just the way it is. They're going to have some protein. We have 8 grams for a serving, and a serving size of Jif is 2 tablespoons, which is pretty generic for nut butters. 2 tablespoons is almost always going to be the serving size. All right, so we've accepted the fact there's going to be more fat. Fine. There's going to be a little protein. Good. Not going to be that many carbohydrate. Not going to be that many carbohydrate. Huh. There's 15 grams of carbs in here. Huh. I didn't think there would be that many. I wonder what happened. Because, you know, nut butters are mostly fat and protein. All right, so let's figure this out. Remember, you got to detect a little more, so you got to go to that ingredient list. So the first ingredient is peanuts, corn syrup solids, sugar, and soy protein. Well, that solved that carbohydrate mystery, didn't it? All right, so let's look at this. Corn syrup solids, that's some sugar. Corn's highly genetically modified. And then just plain sugar. All right, and then the protein is even bumped up by adding soy protein. We need to stay away from soy. It is, next to corn, one of the most genetically modified foods out there right now. Plus, it has very estrogenic effects. And a lot of women are finding trouble losing weight because they are becoming estrogen dominant. Why would you want to add a food in that adds to those estrogenic effects, okay? There's a lot of information on soy on the internet. I encourage you to do some detecting on your own about the food sources going into our foods. Then we have fully hydrogenated vegetable oils, trans fat, right there on the label. Now, it doesn't tell you there's trans fat in it. Matter of fact, it says 0 grams. This goes back to that whole thing of less than half a gram of fat per serving size. It can legally be labeled fat-free. And that's what happens with these trans fats. But if you read the label, you're going to see right there that there are trans fats in here. There's just not enough per this serving size to have to put it on the label, but it's still there. So basically, poor choice. All right, it just is. Let's take a look at the almond butter, and there are natural peanut butters as well. This is just a little more nutritious. Again, you're going to have a lot of fat per serving. You're going to have some protein, 7 grams, which is great. Now here we go. Total carbohydrate, 6 grams compared to 15 grams. Okay, that's about right. Protein is still outweighing the carbohydrate. When we look at the ingredient list here, dry roasted almonds. That's it. There is nothing else in here. Took some almonds, roasted them, ground them up. Can't get much better than that. Now, there are some camps that say that, and this is true, once you roast a nut, you start to damage the fats a little bit, so just find just plain-o nuts ground up. A lot of grocery stores, you can even go and watch while it grinds the nut. That's fine too. It's really going to be your preference whether or not you want them roasted or whether or not you just want the plain nut. Bottom line, better choice, showed you why. Grab those foods, look at the numbers, yes, but go a step further, read those ingredients, and you're on your way. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel or rush over to ShanaRossFitness.com. You can subscribe to my updates there, and I'll give you some free stuff, and just keep in touch. Thanks a bunch.